Hello and welcome back to Sessions by the Herb Life, a weekly podcast that brings you a new set of hosts, each episode discussing everything cannabis. Our aim is to highlight the efforts of women living, working and playing in the cannabis arena, while also giving you a direct line into the conversations that are changing the landscape as we know it. My name is Tiyana and I like to describe myself as the sessions facilitator. Basically, it's my job to bring people together. So this session, we welcome Nicole Hodges, founder of Girls Who Say Fuck, an online publishing platform and brand, alongside cannabis tech pioneer Lisa Haroon, who is the co-founder of Vapium, a Toronto-based company developing vaporizing devices. Now, cannabis is one of the oldest plant medicines used by humankind. Some say perhaps even the first. You'd think by now we'd know absolutely everything about this beautiful plant, but this, of course, couldn't be further from the truth. Every so often, with the help of technology, we are gifted new revelations and our understanding about the cannabis plant deepens. So as science and tech unveil the secrets of the plant, we're able to develop new ways of harnessing the plant's many beneficial properties. One of the most interesting aspects of the developing cannabis industry is the evolving relationship between technology and the plant itself. We're only just beginning to appreciate the complexity of the cannabis plant as it interacts with the human body, and it's this knowledge that underpins our drive to explore how contemporary technologies can enhance our cannabis experiences. For entrepreneurs of all industries, our lived experiences, both personal and professional, inevitably play a role in the development of our ideas. For Lisa, her passion for creating things began in her childhood alongside things like Lego blocks and Transformer toys, and of course the encouragement of her parents to pursue her passions. Having managed to combine two of the fastest growing and continuously evolving industries, cannabis and technology, Lisa is a shining example of what can be accomplished with a belief in oneself, a good support system, and the courage to pursue your ideas. The result, of course, is Vapium, which at its core is a way to integrate healthy cannabis consumption seamlessly into our lives. This is where Nicole comes in with her platform Girls Who Say Fuck. At Herb Life, we love highlighting women who are unapologetically, women. And Nicole is 100% unapologetic about being a woman. She developed Girls Who Say Fuck to encourage girls and women to pursue their passions and create a life full of fuck yes moments, which is exactly what both Lisa and Nicole are doing. Before we go any further, Sessions is made possible by the help of our sponsors. Icaria, CBD oil designed for you. Icaria has a wide variety of oils for you and your pets too. Take charge of your self-care routine with Icaria's CBD oils and empower yourself to enjoy the life you deserve. Rainmaker, that is RNMKR, is Canada's leading cannabis communications agency, known for providing narrative creation, media relations, brand strategy, and advisory services to the most prominent brands in North America and overseas. Are you thinking of growing your own cannabis? Well, grow organically with Sonoma Seeds. You'll find the best cannabis strains from around the world at sonomaseeds.com. Hemper. It's the best 420 subscription service and online head shop. Their experts hand-pick 10 items every month to pack into your Hemper box, delivering $100 of value for only $29.99 right to your door. All boxes are shipped in plain packaging since Hemper values your privacy as much as their own. Visit hemper.co for more info. As usual, we're giving away some great Herb Life gifts, like 2 copies of Volume 2 of the Herb Life magazine. All you have to do is leave a review on whatever platform you use to listen to Sessions, and you'll also go into the grand prize draw to win a PAX vaporizer at the end of the season, which is coming up real soon. Remember to leave your Instagram or Twitter handle so that we can contact you if you win. For more great Herb Life content, make sure you check us out online at theherblifestyle.com and follow us on whatever social channels we have in common. And now, I'll pass it over to Lisa and Nicole talking cannabis and technology.
Thanks to Herb Life for having us. I'm Nicole from Girls Who Say Fuck, joined by Lisa from Vapium. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Nicole. Thank you so much for having us. And Herb Life, thank you so much for allowing us the time to chinwag a little bit about stuff that we love, aka cannabis.
Exactly. We were previously introduced ahead of this, so we'll just kind of jump right into things. Before we kind of get into the nitty gritty of what you do and why you do it, what is your preferred method and place to get high?
Oh, that's such a good question. Right now, I'm not. I'm abstaining because of the fact that I'm going through this really interesting biohacking brain protocol. But way back when I did partake, I love all of it. To be totally honest with you, I have such a deep and long appreciation for flower and all of its magnificence. But I think what most excites me about the direction and where we're going is like the science and technology behind how we're actually extracting. And so dabbing, I think is so, to me, such a different experience. And then obviously part of the reason that we created one of the devices that we did, but then I think also edibles have their place and topicals as well, in terms of I've had a bad muck and I've had, I've needed topicals. So I am a lover of all things cannabis, and whether it's on the CBD side or the THC side, it's a magical plant that I love her very much.
Yeah. I mean, so I've actually never dabbed before. I'm still in the camp that feels incredibly intimidated by it, but edibles have become my new favorite thing. I've actually substituted drinking for the most part for having edibles before I go out.
Wow, that's amazing. Are you making them yourself?
No, I'm not. I would love to dabble in that for sure. Right now, I'm just kind of enjoying the foray into trying a bunch of different ones. A friend of mine from California gave me some stuff while I was down there, and it's just this tiny little gummy. But honestly, I've never had a bad night. It's always led to just more adventures and more discussions.
I think the right type of edible can be amazing, and as long as you're understanding your own titration, I think it can be a magical experience. During my lady time was one of my favorite times to indulge, and especially when they're yummy, but at the same time, like for patients, I'd say go the non-sugar route. But if you're recreationally imbibing, then I think it's one of those things where, brownies and cookies and all kinds, it's amazing to see what people are creating. Even the chefs now, I think that's really fun to see some of the chefs in the States. And I know that that's a growing sector here of looking at how to, use different fats in your cooking and having like full, a 3-course meal. It's like, I'm very much looking forward to having, those dinner clubs here in abundance.
Yeah, I completely agree. I could fall down the edibles rabbit hole with you forever. But I want to focus on you, and I want to focus on Vapium, and I want to kind of start at the beginning, before cannabis was even introduced in your life, because I just think this is such a fascinating little tidbit about you. In a previous conversation that we had, you mentioned that you weren't a Barbie kid, and that you were the kid that was playing with robots and Legos and Transformers. Tell me how that mindset and how that just kind of those innate qualities of yours kind of influenced your the robotics company that you and your partner Michael created initially.
So I have to give a nod to my parents, because of the fact that I think that they were well ahead of their time in terms of like looking at how parenting, has progressed in the conversations around parenting, about genderless parenting. My parents were amazing. They bought me my first Transformers. I'll tell you, to this day, the hero in my life will be the person that finds me the Transformer watch, because I still have been on a hunt for it a few decades later. And so basically they got me they bought me Transformers. We played with Legos. Dolls weren't something that were part of like how I expressed myself or how I like to tell stories. And so, they indulged that. I mean, they did buy me the Barbie house, which I ended up turning into a garage. To their chagrin. And then they got it. They were like, okay, and then we traveled a lot to Asia. So I remember when I was, a young girl, like going to Asia, buying video games, like just loving all of that part of like my childhood, like Saving the Princess so many times. And so, I had the first Omnibot, which totally ages me. I will not tell you when that came out, but that was what connected me to my partner, because of the fact that when I found out he made the first micro robotic smartphone controlled toy, which blew my mind. And meeting somebody who was able to be so creative as well as technical on that level. One of the first conversations, and I think what totally won my heart, was the fact that I said, "Do you know Omnibot?" And he's like, "Do I?" And he said, "Did you have one?" And I was like, "I did when I was small, and I used to put juice and cookies on it and like drive it over to my dad to be like, Dad, look, the Omnibot's coming with your stuff." Like the thought of, the Jetsons. To me, that was the most fascinating, like looking into the future, being able to fly, being able to have robots that will support you. And that's what inspired us, because of the fact that I totally believed in what Michael was doing. And so we were, we started ideating and looking at, different things that we could create together. And that spurred on. I mean, we did one of the first Kickstarter projects successfully, knock on wood. That was amazing. I would never do it again. It was, it's a full-time job into and of itself. And then, we were able to build out all of these different properties, and it was really fun. We met in toys, but we built this STEM, which is, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So like thinkables and learnables for kids, because of the fact that I wanted to be able to add to that conversation, to be able to add to this industry, because I think it's super important. And I wish more toy companies were building things like that. You're seeing it slowly, but Lego, actually, I think it was just in the last 2 weeks, came out with this whole robotics, learn how to build robots by building Legos. And my mind was blown. I was just like, these are the times where I wish I was still a kid. So yes, so Michael and I, we co-founded a toy/robotics company together. And then that parlayed into the opportunity to build a vaporizer and get involved in the cannabis industry. And that was 6 years ago.
Wow. Yeah, I think it's so important to kind of get some context, just in terms of, the way that your mind works and your understanding and appreciation for the seamless integration of technology into our everyday lives. I've read before that you believe the best products are the ones that are adapted into our routines and that work so well that we actually hardly notice them. And, I believe we have a long way to go, but what a fascinating time to be part of shaping what will become the future. So have you accomplished that with Vapium? Do you feel that it's something that works so well that it's without question that it belongs in the sphere of today?
I think we're constantly iterating and improving, and technology, is moving at such a rate that I think that there are certain things that we've created, I think, that are absolutely brilliant. And then you look at things and as a type A personality, I constantly want to improve. And so I'll tell you, anecdotally, our first and the first vape that we ever created, which is the Summit series, still sells today, which boggles my mind because the technology is 5 years old, but it's the first and only all-weather vape. You could vape in the shower. And I wanted something that you didn't have to worry about. And I think that's the seamless part. It's like, it will go with you. We've had customers that have written in being like, my kid threw my vape in the mud and 3 days later I cleaned it and it works. And I'm like, yayo, that's amazing. That's exactly, how we approached the design and engineering behind that product, and I think, I think until everything is fully automated, unfortunately, there's always going to be, there are glitchy things, but I think the approach that we've taken to manufacturing and the standards that we put in place, our SOPs, as well as the fact that we are a medical manufacturer, I think add to the value and the quality of products. Mm-hmm. So we're still working on that, but I think that there are some things that, I think just by the feedback that we get from our customers and our community that, they love it. I think that's also seamless when, you don't remember a time before you had it and you can't imagine not having it anymore. Kind of like a cell phone or a watch. integrated into